All right, HSC. So just so you understand what we're doing right now with the Shangshu, or the Shujing, we're learning the answer to these questions. If you can read this with these questions in mind, and these are the questions about the Shujing, the book of documents. Now, these are big wordy things, but you know what? You need to get used to it because you're going to be expected to be able to handle all sorts of things like this for the rest of your academic life. And they're fun ideas if you just break it down and read patiently. We're talking about a complex relationship here. A complex relationship. So yeah, that means there are a lot of factors sort of blend together, sort of show interconnections and relations between. So how do religion and kingship and family and ritual and music and social welfare all fit together and relate to each other at the earliest history that we know of in China, in the Shujing? And our best example of that is in the Xia and the Shang. So we've already read stuff from the Xia today. Now, B2, you weren't able to finish as much as everybody else, so you need to quickly read the last part of the canon of Shun, to just get clear on especially government offices and so forth. I'm giving you the dates here, roughly. So there's our dynasty Xia. It's unconfirmed. Rough dates. People argue about this since it's legendary. 2000 to 1600 is close enough for our book. And the main characters and events there. Yao and Shun are in quotation marks because technically they're before the Xia, if it ever existed. And Yu, as we've said a million times now, is the first emperor of the Xia. He's also legend so far, but they're all deadly, deadly important and famous as model rulers. So all of these things that we see emerge in the accounts of Yao, Shun, and Yu are important and lasting in China. So we are talking about the continuities and changes of ideas about religion and rulership. And we are talking about the moral, political, and social foundations of these early dynasties. And they all really start with the ideas that we see in the Zhou dynasty book, the Shujing, but that existed definitely during the Shang and before. So that was Thursday's reading. Over the weekend, I want you to read the Shujing 2 and 3 files, and that means the Puankang from the Shujing, that's number 2, and then the Zhoushin, number 3. Why are you reading these? In this particular chapter, the Puankang, you see him discuss himself as a king and how he is responsible for the people, and that means he is responsible for making the ancestors happy with his performance. So nowhere do we get such a clear picture of the king's relationship to the ancestors than in his explanation of this to a bunch of elites and people who are resisting his rule and such. All right. So this is what you want to focus on when you read that. Highlight, annotate, all that sort of thing. What do we learn about the role of the living and the dead, the king and his ancestors and such? We'll get to writing a little more when we just discuss the Shang dynasty in the beginning of writing and its very special role in Chinese history. And then I want you to also just notice Shangdi. Now he is a Shang god, as that tells you, and he's also just called Di, by the way. It's Di. Notice him because he's going to disappear. Now I've been saying all along that there's no such thing as theistic religion in China, so you should be going, wait a minute, did you lie to us or what? So keep an eye on him. And then finally, if Puankang is a good king in the Shang, this guy, Zhou Xin, and this is that Shao Xin looking thing, this is Leggie's translation of the word, and nobody uses it. So technically, in Pinyin, it's Zhou Xin. He's the last Shang king, as it tells you, and he's the model of bad rulers. Notice on the document itself that I put red lines down Leggie's notes down there, his footnotes. For once, I am asking you to read that. And if you've got any sense of intellectual adventure, you will let yourself play. Trust me, it's wild. It's fascinating, and he's the model of bad rulers. So you want to see how the Chinese, how the Chinese look at bad rulers and all that? and play it up into legend. It doesn't get any better than this. So in Moodle, there's going to be a forum, and I want all of you to, as agreed, write in response 3 paragraphs that answer one of those questions above, one of the focus questions above, 3 most important ideas about it, details from the text as you discuss those ideas, and if you're good, how it's distinctive, meaning unusual, original, and how it relates, possibly, to today, in any terms of, are these ideas valuable, relevant? Because I'll just let you in on a little secret. China is beginning to say, you know what, the West defined the rules of the modern world, and we're far older and we have a long tradition, and maybe our tradition has some answers about the way to run politics and society and all sorts of things instead of the West's. So these ideas are not old-fashioned, as I've said a million times, hear it. Most of them were relevant to China and existed and continued until just 100 years ago in 1912 when the Qing fell. Now I've got to go eat before parents get here, so I'll talk to you later. Bye.